One thing we know about this world is that rich people make people famous for doing some of the most degenerate of things. I mean, we can use Kim Kardashian as an example. She became famous from basically her mama selling a intimate tape with her and Ray J. Shame on her mother for that.
I got it. Except guess what? You rushed me to sign the contract because your mama was rushing me to sign it. So guess what you did? You signed my deliverables in your handwriting, right? Because you was rushing me. So you signed my deliverables. Kim Kardashian got her handwriting and her fingerprints all over my contract. When you look at the two, when you look at my signature and you look at her signature on my deliverables, that shit say tape number 1, tape number 2, and guess what? The third tape or the second they've been trying to play me on, that shit called Santa Barbara. Her mama made us go shoot it for safety. She watched the motherfucker and said, hey, we're gonna go with the first one because the first one is better. It gives my daughter a better look than the second one that I made y'all go do. But you watched it?
That, by the way, but the things people will do for money. But if that is not a good example, let's go to the Catch Me Outside girl.
In an interview, they had nothing to say. And off they go, and then this phrase that got turned into a, whatever, a meme or whatever they call it.
Catch me outside, how about that? Catch me outside, how about that?
It just went crazy, and she was nominated for a Grammy or something? I'm serious. So I take no credit or blame. I just did what I could and haven't seen her since. I wish everybody well. Maybe it'll grow her up. She'll turn something positive out, but I hope so.
Well, that's a very good attitude, very healthy attitude for you. But it is.
That girl. She literally got famous for being a degenerate on camera. Well, let's take it to today's time. Let's look at Mrs. Hawk Tour.
You're doing the right thing.
What can I say?
Okay.
Take the cobwebs off this thing. Are you supposed to this?
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tour and spit on that thing. You get
me? She got famous for simply saying Hawk Tour. It's not even a word. We made a word out of it.
I did.
How was
they
that?
had security a little understaffed at the time, but they got us some more. Because they were like, Haley, gotta get a picture. I was like, oh no, because I'm not used to that. But I guess I got a little taste of it.
Yeah. What are you gonna get yourself your own security?
Out of it. And she literally got famous from this, doing appearances at concerts, interviews. They're thinking about doing a reality show. Just the most degenerate of things people are getting famous from. But I don't think I've ever seen someone get famous and rich off of being a snitch.
The YSL RICO trial will be back in court after a week of delays. Key witness Kenneth Copeland, also known as Lil Woody, will be back on the stand. Prosecutors have spent a number of days going over evidence and police interviews from 2015. Recently, attorneys for Brian Steele, who represents rapper Young Thug, filed a brief with the Georgia Supreme Court regarding his contempt of court charge. Steele was held in contempt by Judge Earl Glanville after refusing to disclose who informed him about an ex parte meeting with Copeland. That eventually got Earl Glanville off of the case. Oral arguments are set for October.
With the landscape of the rap game being the way that it is today, we have a rise of many rappers that glorify the gangster lifestyle, but they're really not about that life. We have many of them talking about bodies and drills and so many other things glorifying gangster life, but you can look at them and tell that they're not built like that. And once they get on the stand, we actually see that they're not built like
Beside the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods on RICO charges. It was here where Tekashi was now facing 32 years in jail. Now, he had to decide, does he want to really stick with the tough image and do his time, or should he just work it out with the cops to get a lighter sentence? Well, he found out what he was gonna do the first night he was locked up.
First night I got locked up, I watched Lone Survivor, and I was like, I'm definitely snitching, right? and then, no, seriously, I'm
So from the jump, from the jump.
After all of that posture,
and 2 very prominent rappers come to mind. That is 6ix9ine and Gunna. We all know what they did when push came to shove. But now there are a few rappers who really put in work, and we know who they are because it's not many, such as King Von.
Yeah, she was here the whole time videotaping. 94. Oh, for majority of it, not when we got him out of the car.
Did it come in through the main entrance?
Yeah, a lot of times. I cuffed him this way.
Cause y'all let me go join my Valentine's Day.
He's like going to jail.
I just got to do. You don't know me. That's what I'm saying.
What were you like up for?
A body into it too.
I'm sorry?
You want it, you gonna have it.
Von Fulio
tragically killed him while he was celebrating his birthday. And today we're breaking down the whole story. On June 23rd, 2024, the news broke that Fulio had been shot and killed in Tampa, Florida. Just a few hours before it went down, Fulio had been posting on IG about his birthday party he was hosting at an Airbnb. Fulio was clearly having a great time and sadly tweeted,
Young Thug himself.
And you would expect. But one thing about Thug is that he had a reputation of trolling his enemies with short and funny Instagram videos while being incredibly disrespectful.
But I can't forget Bobby Shmurda, because Bobby Shmurda was one of them ones. And when push came to shove, he stood 10 toes down. Shouts to him, because he rapped about that lifestyle, he lived the lifestyle, and he endured the consequences of that lifestyle.
He heard it was like, yo, Bobby's down to take more time that his guys could get out early. I don't know if there was a proper debate had about that, but a lot of people would have said, well, Bobby's a star. He's supposed to take the least amount of time. Everybody else could wait. But you clearly didn't look at it like that. Why not?
As I said, real life was going to kick in. You guys see the thing with the difference where I think my fans really get me because the shit I speak is the truth. So it's like, regardless or not, I come from the streets. Like, death before dishonor, everything. You know what I'm saying? I come from where I gotta have security because I know some of my dogs will throw this shit away like it's nothing. If a motherfucker do something. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta think for other people now because I know what it is now. So
didn't rat on nobody, didn't tell. There's not too many like him, and he also took time off of his homeboys' bid as well. Shouts to Bobby Shmurda. Lil Woody was not like those rappers who just rap this life and don't live it. No, Lil Woody was the guy all of these rappers rap about, but he was really in the streets.
Yeah, I know. And they was on the internet talking, and I had a fantasy. My fantasy was one of the crazy ones. I was gonna set an example in front of everybody. I tried to shoot somebody in the club on the stage, and my gun didn't go out. And it's a Glock. Caught that, it didn't go out. I gave the gun to somebody else, it didn't go out. We got in the car left. As we wind up Bankheads, I'm cussing dude out like, man, you got that gun, man. Ooh. I hear the window going down, and I hear bah! And me and everybody in the car was just quiet. I swear, a tear just fell out my eye. Like, I don't know why, it just dropped. I wasn't sad on that. I was just like, what the world? Because I done heard people say they had a revolver, and I'm like, man, it's kept. But to actually happen on me, and no, I wasn't faking at that time, like, I'm gonna do this fool. I was just like, it wasn't me.
But he was really in the streets putting in work. You could call Lil Woody the Grim Reaper, because when you call, he didn't ask no questions. He just handled business.
But even though he snitched, y'all still got to remember, he a killer. He's still a G, nigga. You can't take that from him. So he's still what he is. Nigga, he just broke the rules. But he's still what he is. And all I can say is, He wasn't the smartest gangster
business. He was known for this in the streets. He was known for putting in work. He dedicated his life to the streets. He dedicated his life to this lifestyle. So nobody thought when he actually got on the stand, he would be the one to rat.
Covered drugs and a machine gun, leading to 6 additional charges, 3 of which were drug related and the other 3 weapons related. These charges would be used in an additional indictment that was filed on August 5th. Since news broke of the YSL takedown, it became less of a question if anyone was going to snitch, but more so a matter of who and when. In the days following Young Thug's additional indictment, paperwork hit the internet faster than a celebrity sex tape, accusing one of YSL's shooters of snitching. A blurry picture would make its way through social media, and if anyone squinted their eyes hard enough to read it, it would state a man named Kenneth Copeland, who's more commonly known as Lil Woody, was a witness in the murder of 26-year-old Donovan Thomas, aka Peanut, a high-ranking Inglewood family blood.
You wanna be right here, nigga? I got one of the biggest bloods in America with me, my nigga. You did. Atlanta, Georgia, nigga.
Morning, the search is on for the person who shot 3 people, including a 14-year-old. 1 man died.
All 3 victims, including a 14-year-old, were brought here to Grady Memorial Hospital, and 26-year-old Donovan Thomas was in the most serious condition, and the medical examiner's office confirmed he did not survive.
A significant injury. We had at least multiple gunshots in the upper torso area. He was rushed to surgery.
Thomas died at the hospital. Homicide detectives looked for bullet holes and brought in a police K-9 to search for more shell casings. They believe it was a drive-by shooting.
That's the word that we're getting. We're trying to...
And that's exactly what he did. While Young Thug is rotting in prison, right? Now Lil Woody is out counting cash all in public. He's doing public appearances on many YouTube channels because of the fame that he received from the courtroom. Many YouTubers found an opportunity to capitalize off of that and make Lil Woody a lot of money. But just looking at the base of why he has all of this attention is basically at the detriment of another individual. I don't see how he could feel comfortable even being happy doing all these appearances, making all of this money, doing all of this stuff. How could you feel good within yourself knowing that all of this fame is at the detriment of someone who actually helped you? The thing we know about people who get fame really, really fast is that it don't last very, very long. And we know this, Lil Woody is at the height. He's making his money, he's doing his thing. Shout out to Lil Woody for that. But Young Thug is gonna get out of jail. And it's gonna happen soon. I don't know how, but I just got a good feeling that he's gonna come home. And Young Thug is gonna be bigger than he ever was. And Lil Woody, we probably won't hear from him again. The